In one of the most baffling moves by any political party anywhere in the world, Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of the UK, called an early election for the country on July the 4th, in a move that looks like some kind of act of political kari. It's long been thought that the Conservative Party, the Tories as they call them over there, will lose the next election to Labor, and that the Labor Party head, Keir Starmer, will be the UK's next Prime Minister. But an election wasn't due until November, and analysts like the Spectator magazine chairman and revered political commentator and journalist Andrew Neil are baffled by the PM's plan to go 4 months early.
So I think we've reached a time when the country stopped listening to the Tories. It happened to John Major in 97. It doesn't matter what the Tories say. People just say, nah, you've had your time.
Yeah.
You've had enough. We're not gagging for Keir Starmer in the way that we really wanted Tony Blair to be our new Prime Minister in 97. We're not gagging for him, but your time is up. And I don't think there's much they can do about that. The Tories have a mountain to climb to win the election whenever it is. Pretty much, I think, mission impossible. But if they had a chance, it was a better chance in November than July.
Why is that?
Because a number of things are now coming right. Not in big ways, not ways that will convince the electorate, but it will be more obvious that they've come right by November.
That's Andrew Neil speaking to Spectator TV. He says inflation is just starting to come down and wages are starting to rise again. So if Sunak had waited until November, he might have had a better chance of winning or more likely not losing so badly. Also, once an election is called in the UK, the central bank isn't allowed to change interest rates until after the vote, so there can be no interest rate drop before the election, which kind of makes the timing really weird. Some say it might be that they want to go before the expected wave of illegal immigrant boats coming across the channel in summer.
And we're about to get some, not the illegal migration of the boat people, but we're about to get new migration figures coming out this week, which will not be great for the government. There will still be a lot more than people want and won't reflect the recent steps the government's taken to cut legal migration. But lo and behold, we would have had the impact of these steps by the autumn.
Yeah.
It'll be irrelevant by then. So it is why I'm genuinely baffled. I can think of no good reason other than that Rishi Sunak's had enough and he wants out.
That's Andrew Neil on Spectator TV in the UK, and you can catch Spectator TV Australia with Alexandra Marshall right here on ADH TV, of course. Now, if you did want to make sure that you would lose an election, you couldn't do a better job of putting together an announcement press conference than the clowns in the UK Conservative Party PR team. This was how the announcement started.
In the last 5 years, our country has fought through the most challenging times since the Second World War. As I stand here as your Prime Minister, I can't help but reflect that my first proper introduction to you was just over 4 years ago.
And then, within 30 seconds, as if on cue, the rain started to come down.
I have never and will never leave the people of this country to face the darkest of days alone. And you know that because you've seen it.
2 minutes later, by the time he actually got to announcing the election, Rishi Sunak was drenched.
Earlier today, I spoke with His Majesty the King to request the dissolution of Parliament. The King has granted this request, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July.
To make matters even more poetic and symbolic of the current state of the mother country, a random protester was standing at the gates of Downing Street just half a block away, blasting the Labor Party theme song, "Things Can Only Get Better," at full volume.
This election will take place at a time when the world is more dangerous than it has been since the end of the Cold War. Putin's Russia is waging a brutal war in Ukraine and will not stop there if he succeeds. That war has also made it all too clear the risk to our energy security. In the Middle East, the forces of Islamist extremism threaten regional and ultimately global stability. These tensions are exploited by extremists who seek to undermine our values and divide our society here at home. China is looking to dominate the 21st century by stealing a lead in technology. And migration is being weaponized by hostile states to threaten the integrity of our borders. And these uncertain times call for a clear plan and bold action to chart a course to a secure future.
And yet, amid all those threats to the Western liberal democratic world order, the UK can't even organise an umbrella for its Prime Minister or a police officer to seize the portable speakers from a protester. What more do you need to know about the shambolic state we're all in right now? Really hope you enjoyed that content. There's a lot more where that came from, and it's available right here on YouTube. So do check it out. The Other Side with me, Damien Curry, your weekly summary news show, every Friday night dropping at 8 p.m. Also, we have lots of clips that come out during the week, so please subscribe. Press that little bell when you do subscribe. You can subscribe down there, you can subscribe up here, and we also have our full shows right here.